Okay, first time to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Al Shah, Bashim Gakadash. Get the bonus of this possible teacher, great Muslim, probably learn the truth. Now say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. Send this another video here that you have by the elder Manat Zagbag, Jim, South Carolina. And I'm just going to play a little bit of it.
Orientalism is growing by conversion rates. So they're actually persuading people. They are absolutely persuading people. There's data on this too. Lifeway Research has a thing called the Philos Project, where they specifically ask this question. And then a couple years later, the Manhattan Institute. So one's a Christian organization, but this is for research. The other one's like a conservative think tank. And both of them did numbers on this. And one had 4% of Black Americans, the other had 6%, and they also include others, so it's not just Black Americans, by the way. 4 to 6%. First of all, that's growth of 2% within a small span. If those numbers are right, they're within the margin of error. Long story short, you've got almost 4 million people who believe these ideas.
Do you think that this is more like how veganism was super popular a couple of years ago, and then most folks kind of fall out because it's just like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like literal Sabbath keeping. I gotta wear my little drapes, or what are they called?
Fringes.
The fringes. Do you think this is something that people go through for a window of time, the same way we saw a lot of folks go vegan, and then 95% of people who go vegan don't remain vegan?
For some, and every bad idea has a limited shelf life.
It's just a side note to that I do have to give the Israelites props for at least pretending like they give a fuck about the Bible, whether they do or not, for real.
I don't know what the hell that nigga is, but from what I know about Lil Cap alone, he's a Christian, and I guess the guy's supposed to be a prophet. I don't know. Like, obviously you seen over the years that the guy was fucking he was pretty much just a fucking nuisance. Like, everybody know he's a fucking agent, right? But he's an agent, but is he masquerading as a prophet or like, what the fuck is he doing? And you got a lot of niggas who apparently, well, I'm not sure if there's a lot, but I know you have niggas following him. But why? Because when you go into, like, I heard the guy talk about the Bible and go back and forth with those and apostles for years now. But when you talk about the Bible, what is the Bible about? Because he talks about Jesus, and nigga talks about debunking the Israelites. But what's the point? Like, what's your end goal other than fucking doing what your handler tells you to? And why are you niggas worried about that? Don't you have a whole war? You white niggas, you Christian niggas need to fight for your fucking country. You niggas need to shut the fuck up and go put on a goddamn fucking striped uniform and go over there and fight for your murderous ass nation. It's Revelation 19:10. But, I find it interesting that you have these assholes, because I haven't heard of anything. I actually talked about this among brothers, mentioned a couple times about how we haven't really heard anything from this nigga on the war or on prophecy concerning what's going on in the world. And this is how you know that these fuckers are fucking agents, that they don't talk about any prophecy. It doesn't matter if you went to seminary school or none of that. None of that gives you credit, any type of credit concerning the Bible. The Lord is one who greenlights it, but I don't hear none of this niggas lining anything up. Or you have some assholes saying that there isn't going to be any World War III. But you have, and as time goes on, it's going to be revealed more and more about who the men of the Lord are. Because the men of the Lord are the people who you should be listening to. I mean, if you don't want to, then hey, that's on you. Go ahead. But if you're looking for the truth, the people you should be listening to are men of great millstone, simply because not only just because the Spirit of the Lord is working with them, but you have proof of that, and that they bring out the truth of the scriptures, and they can be verified and paralleled with what's going on. And just got a notification in the group chat how there's going to be a draft in September. I'm going to have to look that up. But a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a week ago, you had talks about there being an actual draft and how they had put that into fucking they pushed that through Congress or House of Representatives, however the fuck that process goes through, likely in that big beautiful bill, and that they put that forward, and they're going to send all of you people, and they're even talking about sending women. I hope they send women. I really do, because you women need to get your lazy asses up and fight for your nation too. You bitches want to drop money at Sephora all day. How about you go over there and fight for your nation? You lazy cunts. But they're gonna put. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not legislation, or maybe it is some type of act through in which they're going to forcefully force you niggas, yes, to go over there and to die for Israel. And you saw what happened to that Marine. They broke that nigga's arm because he spoke out. Now you can say, well, he lodged his arm in the doorway. It don't fucking matter. They didn't pull that. They didn't, try to dislodge his arm. They were willing to break that motherfucker to get him out the damn courtroom. So it don't fucking matter. They broke that nigga's arm because he spoke out. They didn't give a fuck about that nigga. They said, you gonna move your arm. We're gonna break this motherfucker. All right. You heard that crack. But all you dumb niggas I'm not like, and it's interesting that this guy pops back up and he's not saying anything about the war. And I'd imagine he's a Zionist too. So I mean, I haven't heard anything about the nigga for being for the war or against it too either. So Revelation 19:10, and all you white niggas on there, you pieces of shit should be worried about your nation. Because the interesting part about this is that the Hebrew Israelites are preaching the Bible. We're not doing any crazy dumb shit. We're just preaching the Bible. We didn't start a fucking war and cripple your fucking economy. And this is why this is one of the reasons why all of you are going into slavery, by the way. And the Lord is going to give the Hebrew Israelite, his people, to beat the daylights out of you and then back into you. Because even now, like all those honeyed words and all that shit, all that is just mask for his fucking hatred. And you can really see it. But that's fine. Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, for worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. If you're going to be talking about the Heavenly Father, his Son, his people, his word, what's included in his word? Prophecy. All throughout it, entire thing, prophecy. Going to, once again, World War III, downfall of the economy. The murdering of the prophets, being put in the prisons. You had, the apostles go through that and talks about we're going to go through similar or same thing. It's all prophecy, and none of these niggas are talking about it. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, all of these niggas followers, so yeah, I accidentally paused the video. I went on, didn't realize the video was paused, but I'm just going to start back where I think I left off. I think I left off here at second address, but I was mentioning how you have all these assholes that are following these people for not necessarily because they believe in Yahweh Shemashai, because they're fanboys. Whether it's because they believe in vocab Malone or whatever the fuck that nigga's doing, or whether it's because they they just want to be a part of some type of culture or some whatever the fuck they will consider culture. This is why the vast majority of our people are gonna die, because you got niggas that follow those fucking dirty Edomites. And by the way, for all you fucking, I'm not sure if I said this already, but for you Edomite, you pieces of shit on that panel, how about you fucking evil, heinous pieces of garbage? get a goddamn rifle in your hand and go over there and fight for your murderous ass country instead of wasting your precious, valuable time talking about us. Because we're not the ones that started the fucking war. We're not the ones that's crippling your fucking economy. Your own leader's doing that. Go fight for your fucking leader. Go fight for your king. Because we're not doing anything. We're just preaching the Bible. All we're doing is preaching the Bible. But that just goes to show you the hate that this nigga has for our people. Because, make no mistake, all those honeyed words and that smooth, slick way of speaking, it doesn't change the fact that he has a vicious hatred for our people. And that's fine, because the Lord's going to give his people the green light to rip you niggas limb from motherfucking limb in the kingdom of heaven. And it's understandable y'all are concerned, right? Because obviously, you got a lot of things going on. Your leader just fucked your economy, and he's not stopping. Your women like black men, big, scary. He was big and he was black and he was scary. Big, scary black men getting papped out day and night. And even if they aren't fucking black dudes, your white wife is still cheating on you. Just like, what's that one nigga? What's that famous quarterback nigga? I'm not into sports at all, but there's some famous household name quarterback nigga whose wife was getting fucked out by the goddamn the goddamn kung fu instructor, and he went back to play football. He said, "All right, I ain't dealing with this." But you little cuck motherfuckers, y'all need to go fight for your goddamn country. And it's understandable you're mad. Black men are taking y'all women. I get it. You're upset. You got penis envy, and not just that. You got what's that? Napoleon. You got a Napoleon complex. Because you're white and weak and little. Now, the only thing y'all really have is your guns. That's it. Brother just put up a video, I think it was a couple days ago, about, I think they were having some type of training, the army niggas, and there was Jake Dill slapping this Edomite up. And like, from the looks of it, that Edomite was going to fucking lose. He was trying to get aggressive, but Jake, need nigga in the stomach, and that was that. Nigga just dropped to the ground. That's an illustration of how things are going spiritually right now. Esau keeps getting knocked on his fucking ass. And saying that, just 8-1. He answered me, saying, "The Most High hath made this world for many, but the word come for few. I'll tell thee similitude, that just as when I said the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold thereof, where the earth and vessels are made, but little dust of gold cometh of. Even so is, of course, this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved." And what? Why? Because only a few are actually here for Yahweh Shemal Shai. You have these assholes that talk about, from what I've seen, mainly the New Testament, which when you actually go into the Bible, it comprises of the New Testament, the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. Why? Because I talk about Jesus, Gentiles love, God loves everybody, but there's more to that. Then there's more in the Bible than God loving everybody and God saving everybody and Jesus. There's more in the scriptures than that. Now you got the whole, and even when you go into that, what was that about? That was about our New Testament. It was pretty much about how our forefathers operated under Roman captivity. Like we're coming up on the Passover, right? Where the Passover is all throughout all the three parts of the Bible. But where did it come from? Where did it first start? What's the originaries of it? What's the meaning of it? What's the parallels of it? They don't talk about that, even though they talk about Jesus, because what? Their Jesus kept the Passover. And that Passover is representative of Yahweh Shai sacrificing his life. I haven't heard him say anything about that. Like what was our first pass? Like what was it for? What was it about? It's about the Lord sending Yahweh Shai down to destroy our enemies and to deliver us from Egypt. Was it Psalm 18 and 15? Just gonna jump through a little bit in here with Psalm 18. And 3. Instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, which is a chariot. Well, there was actually, yeah. Both to be a guide of the unknown journey and the harmless sun to entertain them honorably. Gonna jump down because you had Yahushua that was actually in the chariot that was guiding our people. Literally, you got different depictions of in what's the correct term? I don't think antiquity is the right term, but in these different past artworks, you have at like so-called UFOs in these past artworks. Why were they drawing you? Isn't a UFO supposed to be like a more modern thing? But why were they painting UFOs? Because it was chariot, and chariot was like chariots were always around. But that once again, they don't talk about. From what I've seen, they don't talk about that. All these assholes that these fucking dumbass niggas follow don't talk about that. Verse 13. For whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be sons of Yahweh. And this is what happened. A little bit of rundown what happened during Egypt when the Lord was fucking tearing that place apart. For all things were in quiet silence, and the night was in the midst of her swift course. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven, which is what so-called Jesus, Yahushua is a word, he's known as a word, leaped down from heaven, on thy royal throne, the fierce man of war, into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, standing up, filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but stood upon the earth. That's probably in another chapter, but you got there's another chapter that's talking about how you had strange apparitions. Pretty much within that darkness, you had them Egyptians seeing all types of horrible shit that wasn't really there. But it's first how Yahushua was the one that was in that chariot. He was the death angel that was that delivered death unto all the firstborn in Egypt. He also led us out of Egypt. He led us through Mount Sinai as well. No, not Mount Sinai, the wilderness as well. But the reason why I mention that is because that's in the Old Testament. That's actual history. And you don't have all these niggas who claim to be believers. They're actually talking about that because once again, the Bible is more than just God loving everybody. And once again, like I said, I found it interesting that these guys who call themselves Christians, who are supposed to be talking about the Bible, right? I'm not sure if they identify as Christians now, because just now seeing this little faggot nigga pop up, and he's not talking about the war, he's not talking about prophecy or anything. You got assholes that saying there's going to be no Jacob's troubles, there's going to be no World War III. When you see if there's not going to be any World War III, then why the fuck do you see everybody arming up? Do you think you think it's going to be a fluke? Because there's people that think that everybody's going to pull. You got little people that have think back to say, hey, everybody's going to pull back. That because like over the past few years, you've had these different scares that have happened, and pretty much nothing catastrophic has happened. But there's been a constant stream of building tension, which is the bigger thing to be concerned about. Sure, you may have had everybody thought nukes were going to fly when Kim Jong-un, when Trump was talking shit to Kim Jong-un. Everybody thought nukes were going to fly then, but it didn't. People closed up, put the red button away. But you still had that tension building, and even now it's to the point to where U.S. allies aren't helping the United States. And what did Trump say? He pretty much said, y'all some bitch ass niggas, fuck y'all, talking shit when they won't help him, and we don't need y'all anyway, even though he just asked for help. So let's say nukes don't fly immediately because the RFID chip has to come out. But let's say nukes don't fly. You still have this. Let's say their strait gets opened back up. Well, the economy's still fucked up, but you still have that tension. And the likeliness of that happening is probably slim because them Iranians are pissed the fuck off. But you still have that building fucking tension. You know? And once again, that's prophecy. And your leaders aren't talking about prophecy. You got these white cucks, because like you obviously know they're upset and they're angry that black men are fucking their women, and they those guys may be in marriages, but your wives are cheating on you. By the way, for Edomite niggas, your wives are definitely cheating on all of you. Just want to put that out there. But these niggas lose this country. He doesn't know where to bear his fangs, so he bears his fangs at the Israelites. And why are you so concerned with our people anyway? Don't you have bigger fish to fry or to murder? Y'all are, big, important, business-oriented white men. Why are y'all so concerned with little old us? And more so, if y'all are Christians, why aren't y'all talking about the Bible? Where's the prophecy? And that's to all these damn niggas. Where's prophecy? And I was going to go to this earlier, and this is going to be it. Because they're 8:20 to law to the testimony. If they speak not according to his words, because there is no light in them. And it's simple. If you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself a pastor, call yourself a man of the Lord, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, and you're not talking about the prophecy, spirit of the Lord, testimony of the Lord, spirit of prophecy, then obviously, you're a false fucking prophet. And it says in the scriptures how there's going to be many false prophets. Hope it made sense. So I'll praise. If I repeated myself, slacky about that, because one of my mics had cut off, and I had to pretty much restart at the last point where I thought that the mic cut off, and I had to pause the video, and I kept going. I thought I unpaused it, but I had to restart at the place I was speaking. But I think I was at before I paused the video, so slacky about that. Made sense. Y'all praises, glory, Nazi. How about Shema Shabbat? Shalom, Dash, Shabbat, says, Possible teacher, Missile, Truth, Shalom to hope like Israel, Shashbel, I'm great America.